Feel the power of your determination taking control of your breathing. Feel the power of your presence, your gift, right now in this moment. Now think about you doing your best today on all the exercises we do together in the gym of life. See, we are so powerful, we get to think, create, imagine in our minds, and make real in the world. And that goes with everything. The way we do our exercises to the best of our ability is the same way we can do anything to the best of our ability.
Party rock! Yeah. Woo! Let's go.
Party rock is in the house tonight. Everybody just have a good time.
Yeah.
And we gon' make you lose your mind. Everybody just have a good time. Party rock is in the house tonight.
Oh,
Everybody just have a good
I
time.
can feel it.
And we
Hey.
gon' make you lose your mind.
Yeah.
We just wanna see you
Shake that.
In the club, party rock. Looking for your girl, she on my jock. Now stop when we in the spot. Booty moving weight like she on the block. With a drink, I got to know. Top jeans tattoo, cause I'm rock wrong. Half black, half white, diamond now. Gang of money, opened up.
Yo, I'm running through these halls like Drano. I got that devilish flow, rock and roll, no halo. We party rock. Yeah, that's the crew that I'm repping on a rise to the top. No lead in our Zeppelin. Hey,
Party rock is in the house tonight. Everybody just have a good time.
yeah.
And we gon' make you lose your mind. Everybody just have a good time.
Let's go.
Party rock is in the house tonight. Everybody just have a good time.
Feel it,
And we
man.
gon' make you lose your mind. We just wanna see you.
Shake that.
And again, and Rayner is beaten, and the world champions are behind.
Good morning, guys. If we accept the idea that we are the programmers and that we can write the program, the final part of it is to live and run the program. Run the program, the new program of your mind. The current program that you are creating, the one where you know that you can be better than you were yesterday or than you were a second ago. And it is a process. It is a tough battle. But if you commit to it and if you live it and run the program that you write down and create for yourself, you are going to see incredible changes. And I want you to know that you're going to get challenged each and every moment. There are going to be voices in your head that are telling you, you can't do this, that you can't continue on, you're going to lose. You have to stand up and fight those voices every single day by living that new program. And eventually, it will become natural. Have a great day, everyone.
I got so much to talk about. I got pages and pages of notes we're going to go through today. I've been teaching this stuff for 27 years. The reason I love teaching about money is not so much, believe it or not, because I want you to have a certain amount of money. It's not so much the money as what the money can do for you. And here's what I believe about personal finance. I believe that when you fix your finances, you free yourself to live your best life. And I believe that when you fix your finances, you free your soul to fly. Learning about money can be simple, it can be easy, it can be fun. And the most important thing, it can be actionable. Let's control the controllables. So you want to build wealth, we got to control the controllables. And I'm going to take you on the journey, a little bit, not all of it, but I'm going to take you on the journey that is inside this book, The Automatic Millionaire. I'm going to walk you through this concept of how to build wealth by paying yourself first automatically. Super simple, but life-changing. So I'm going to share the 5 questions with you because then you can ask them to yourself and then ultimately you can ask this of other people. These are the questions that will determine if you'll build financial security. Question number 1. Do you want to be rich? Yes? How many of you would just like to be out of debt? Does anybody want to admit to that? Like, I just want to be out of debt. Okay. How many of you are like, I don't need to be rich. I just want to be financially secure. You see, if you just want to be financially secure, right? So here's the question behind this question. Why do you want what you want? I learned young that for most people, money is not enough to actually motivate them to do all the work that needs to be done to become wealthy. There's all kinds of obstacles that will come in your way to building wealth. You can't get rich in days. It takes decades typically. But when you are clear on what's most important to you and it's based on your values, when you answer the question for yourself, I want to be financially secure because of, and it's a value answer. I want to protect my family. I want to pass a legacy to my children. I want to give back to my church. I want to be able to give back to my community. When you can answer the question with your core values, you will then become an unstoppable force because your values will pull you through the difficult times to achieve your goals. One of the biggest reasons people fail financially is the way they spend their money is actually in conflict with their values. When your values are clear, your financial decisions become easier. This takes me to question number 2. And question number 2 is this: do you pay yourself first? When you pay yourself first, what you show yourself every day is that you're putting yourself first. How much to pay yourself first? 1 hour a day of your income minimum. So whatever you're earning, that first hour a day from 9 to 10, that's got to come off the top and go into a retirement account. Now in the United States, that would be an IRA account, or that would be a 401k plan. If you're self-employed, it would be a SEP, self-employed retirement account. Now, again, I can't go through every single country, but like in Canada, it'd be like an RSP account. So you got to do your own research on what account it is. But the most important thing is the math. 1 hour a day of your income is 12.5% of your gross income. Now, I will tell you this, that's a minimum number that you should save. That's not a maximum number, it's a minimum number. Your goal should be minimum 1 hour a day of your income. For those of you who are self-employed, it should be minimum. Your goal should be 15% or more of your income going to you automatically for yourself. This is what's going to give you financial confidence, knowing that you're taking your income and putting it away for yourself for the future. Why don't people do this? Do you want to be rich? Do you pay yourself first? The third thing was this: do you save 1 hour a day of your income? Which takes me to question number 4. And that is, do you save money automatically. How does the average American build wealth on an ordinary income? They save money automatically. I started my career at Morgan Stanley. I was there for 9 years as a financial advisor. It used to be complicated to save money automatically. Like if you came to my office, they were called systematic investment plans, and the paperwork was like 7 pages long. But we would encourage all of our clients, anybody who came to my seminars, even if you're just saving $50 a month, we would encourage our clients to save automatically. And the reason was what we saw firsthand is that no one would save for more than 2 to 3 months unless it was automatic. People would say, oh, no, I'm super disciplined. I don't need to do it this way. People used to be afraid to have money taken from their paychecks and invested automatically. That's really not the case anymore. But people were afraid to do this movement of their money automatically. But the problem is people wouldn't save unless it was automated. So many Americans, and this is also true all over the world, so many people have built wealth because they just set something up once, forgot about it, left it alone, and next thing you know, 20 years go by, 25 years go by, 30 years go by, and they've built massive wealth because the savings was automatic. The key is automation. The key is no budget. Budgeting takes time. Budgeting creates fights. Budgeting is boring. Automation is beautiful. Which takes me to question number 5. Do you know what your latte factor is? People always say to themselves, and to me, I don't have the money to save automatically. I can't do that. And so I started showing people, you know what, small amounts of money, $5 a day, $10 a day could change your life. And it can, by the way, can completely change your life. You got to start somewhere. But if you don't believe you have the money and you tell yourself that, you'll never save. So the thing about $5 a day is you start saving in your 20s, you can have $1 million by the time you reach retirement. Now, it's not enough. $5 a day now is not enough. You need to save more than that. But you need to figure out what your latte factor is. You know, nobody's probably going to Starbucks right now. You're making coffee at home. Oh my God, and guess what? You survived. People would say to me, I cannot give up my coffee. There's no way. And somehow we've all survived making coffee at home for a year. Some of you here have a lot more money than you actually had a year ago because you're not spending anything, right? You're not eating out. You're not going out for coffee. Our expenses have been reduced. When we start to go back to a new normal, the question becomes, do you keep some of these good habits or do you just go out and spend money again? Now, you know, one of the reasons the market's up so much is because we're expecting everybody to rush out and spend a ton of money and everybody's ready to party. I want to show you something based on this idea of partying. What do you think it costs to blow $10,000 a year? It's $27.40 a day. What it takes to blow $10,000 in a year is $27.40 a day, which is less than most people make an hour. $27.40 a day in the US, you can blow that so easily, right? That's $10,000 in a year. For many of you, that would build your emergency account. That would start your retirement account. What happens if you took that money and you invested? I know it's a lot of money, $27 a day, but what would happen? In 20 years, if you were in the S&P 500 fund and the market did what it's done the last 30 years, you'd have $572,000. What if it went out 30 years? $27.40 a day. You'd have $1,644,000 in 30 years. What if I went out 40 years? This is where the numbers go crazy. You'd have $4,424,000 potentially. By the way, did you just see that astronomical growth? Because sometimes if you don't really know compound interest, this is the miracle of compound interest. This is
Everybody bubbling, everybody bubbling, everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble.
bubbly bubbly bum 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 bubbly be 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 bubbly bubbly bum bubble bubble bubble. Alright, make way when you see me pass through and they come with me too. You don't know what to do. Drinks up, hands up, everything in the air. Everybody done drunk, there's a party over here. That's right, we drink just bubbling. Watch how we wine while the DJ juggling. He got the whole dance floor just bubbling. Champagne bottles just popping. We going on, I guess the night we not stopping. Let's party hard tonight. So going non-stop until the sunlight. We going non-stop until the sunlight. The club done full, only woman inside. It's a good night to get we head tight. It's a good night to get we head tight. Couple up this party going on a flight. Green drinks, we don't care, we go down.
That was exactly the same. Barcelona, can they fight straight back? Miss.
Good morning, guys. Gary Vaynerchuk reminds us as we close off with him that there are no overnight successes. There is no overnight success. When we go on our path to becoming our greater, better selves, we are going to want to see results right away. But it's just not the way it works. Nature, the universe doesn't work that way. You can become successful and achieve anything you want, but it takes time. And it's not an overnight success. We have to put that thought in our heads. We have to realize that we have to enjoy the process of becoming our greater selves. So Gary Vaynerchuk reminds us of this all the time. And you look at his story, if you look him up, it's taken him, well, I don't know, maybe 20 years of just pure, relentless, hard work at his business and becoming and developing the mindset he has. So let's remember from him as we go on our path. Have a great day, everyone.
We all have these ideas. I want to start a podcast. I want to be a speaker. The successful people, they're not smarter than you. Often they're probably stupider than you. They just start. All the successful people that we profiled, whether they're entrepreneurs or athletes or musicians or artists, the people at the top of their field, if you don't believe in the abilities to figure it out,
Right.
the belief that tomorrow you don't have to be in the same spot that you are today, even when it doesn't look like it. Your family's not doing it, your friends aren't doing it, the people you know aren't doing it. Who are you to be this crazy guy going off and changing the world and doing amazing things?
Yeah.
The belief that you could be way bigger than you are right now. That is consistent across all the people that we profile. Because you look at where people came from, chances are your hero started with less than what you already have right now. The people you look up to started with less than what you already have right now. If they can do it, what's your reason for not doing it?
Here live with Evan Carmichael.
Let's
in
go, man. Let's
sunny
go.
Toronto, Canada. My
Yep.
first time visiting.
Really?
Yeah.
Not that sunny. It's December, but
I
I
was
guess
kidding
it's-
about the sunny.
Okay.
It's like what, 20-something degrees?
I don't speak American.
In
so I don't
US
know.
temperature?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Anyways, it's freezing. You can see your breath
It's
during the day.
about, I think, just around freezing. Yeah, just around freezing right
Yeah,
now.
it's freezing. Went to a Tim Hortons
Come back in
this morning.
February. Oh, you went to Tim's.
We
Okay,
went to
there you go.
Tim's. I went to Tim's, was a big fan.
What did you get?
I
Big
got a
fail?
Big fan.
Oh, big fan.
I got
Okay,
a
okay.
bacon, egg, and cheese
Okay.
on some bread, and
Okay.
I got a French vanilla latte.
Oh,
And,
wow, you went sweet. Okay.
oh, I didn't realize it was going to be that sweet.
It's sweet. French vanilla is going to rot your teeth.
Yeah, that
sweet.
was a
Yeah.
lot of sugar,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I
yeah.
will say it was delicious.
Yeah, okay.
Big fan of Tim Hortons. Those Americans listening to this, Tim Hortons is like a Wawa meets a Dunkin' Donuts meets Starbucks. Better quality food. The coffee was good.
Yeah, it's the working man Starbucks here. Tim Horton was a very famous hockey player in Canada, and he partnered with Ron Joyce, and they made the franchise. But it's like you're either a Starbucks person or you're a Tim Hortons person.
Okay, do you have Dunkin' Donuts here?
No.
What are you? Are you a Starbucks person or are you a Tim Hortons person?
More Tim Hortons. Yeah.
What's your go-to order at Tim Hortons?
The extra large, 1 cream.
Extra large coffee, 1 cream?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, you a
But if
coffee
I
guy?
could have anything I could,
Yeah.
then it'd be an ice cap, which is like a frappuccino but better, with one of a farmer's wrap, which is like egg and sausage with a hash brown inside it, all wrapped up.
I saw that. It looked
no,
delicious.
It's really
yeah,
good.
the
But
hash
it's-
browns in
It's
the
gonna be
wrap.
like 900 calories for that thing.
Yeah.
so.
Is that what keeps you fueled through all of the YouTube videos? Are you a coffee guy? Do you like to get caffeinated? Any energy drinks?
No, it's more appetite suppressant. Zero energy drinks.
Yeah.
And I don't use caffeine. I don't need caffeine to like get going.
Yeah.
It's just it allows me to fast for longer.
You said appetite suppressant. Does
Yeah.
that help you get through the day, stay sharp for the YouTube videos? Do you focus on?
Staying sharp, for me, diet has had almost no impact. Like I could be eating Snickers bars all day long and still show up and be like, let's go, I'm ready to film, guys.
Yeah.
And not have a giant crash. I would just be 30 pounds heavier and still having energy. Like I think for me, the energy is much more about the work that I'm doing. Like I'm pumped that you're here, we're having this discussion. I'm pumped for the 3-day mastermind that I'm doing here. Like that's what gets me going. And if I was eating crap or eating healthy, like it doesn't really make a difference.
Yeah.
But if I hated what I was doing and I was eating healthy, I wouldn't have any energy.
It definitely helps. No, I'm a longevity, I'm a biohacking guy. I try
Yeah.
to like optimize my nutrition. I take all kinds of weird stuff so that I can stay sharp and operate as a superhuman entrepreneur. That's kind of my goal. Have you ever tried to really fine tune nutrition, maybe do some of those biohacking tactics that I teach to fully optimize yourself?
I mean, always.
Yeah.
I love it. From nutrition to wearable. I mean, got the Oura Ring on, tracking sleep, supplements, trying a whole bunch of stuff. My new phase right now is anything I'm doing, I'm trying to take a data-driven approach to. So we just did a panel, took 8 vials of blood.
Good.
Tracking baseline for testosterone and just all sorts of crazy stuff. The guy who was just here before you runs a DNA company where it tests my DNA and it gives you all sorts of reports on where you're likely to have issues or go wrong, and then how to kind of fix all that stuff. So I love all that stuff, but I found myself at times buying into the hype of some things and just doing it because somebody said to do it, but without ever tracking. So supplements was one of the worst in that I would have been on 20 supplements just because somebody said take this supplement. Oh, okay, but I didn't feel any different, which may not be the best indicator because it could be something that it is actually fixing, but I just don't. I'm very low, just like I could eat Snickers or I can eat super healthy and not feel any different, but my body would be 30 pounds heavier, but I'd still have like the stamina and energy.
Right. Tracking the metrics and the blood markers is the way to go.
Right. So like one by one. So I cut all of my supplements down to just vitamin D and magnesium because I burn magnesium like crazy.
Yeah.
And vitamin D, pretty much everybody's deficient in vitamin D, especially if you're in
especially
Canada.
living in Toronto.
You don't get. I try to get 2 hours sunlight outside every day.
Good.
Plus the vitamin D. But after that, nothing. And now we're taking an approach of, okay, I got my blood markers. What's the next recommendation? Okay, you're going to try blank. Okay, if it doesn't show up in the blood work or some other kind of test, then I'm not going to keep doing it.
No, that's fair. There's a couple things like fish oil that I just think you don't feel it every day, but there's so much research over the years that shows it's...
I should be doing more fish oil. Yeah.
There's lots of stuff. We can get into it. Anyways, the reason that I was excited to come talk to you today, and I think where we're going to give the most value for my audience is with what you've done as a motivational speaker. Now, you were listed on Forbes, on Inc. as one of the top speakers in the country. And you've done a lot as an entrepreneur in your journey to build up credibility, to finally give back and make the impact that you wanted to make through your books and through your speaking. So I wanted to kind of go through the value ladder that you've created as a speaker. You mentioned that you're now doing the masterminds.
Okay. We're going hard pivot to business. This is great. Okay.
Hard pivot to business.
Let's go.
Yeah. Hopefully we can have some fun here because I'm kind of going through that journey myself a little bit, and you've done it. So hopefully I can learn a little bit from you, and hopefully the audience can too. Everybody wants to be a motivational speaker, right? Okay. I was looking at search volume of like, what have you done that people are going to be super interested in? And this is something I'm interested in. Everybody wants to be on stage and make an impact and reach a massive audience. But a lot of times that doesn't happen right away. You have to have some credibility or be really, really good at speaking. What does it take to be a motivational speaker? Can anybody do it?
Yeah, so, if you have a goal for something, it's just reverse engineer it and making progress and steps every day towards it. I never really had a major goal to be a speaker. I don't like speaking. That's probably why.
Don't like being on stage.
I don't like being on stage.
Why do you do it?
For the impact. Like my favorite part of being on stage is to then have 6 hours of conversations in the hallway afterwards.
Yeah.
So being on stage is my least favorite thing to do because I'm just talking.
Yeah.
Where I'd much rather, if I'm going to be on stage, I'd much rather do something like this, like a fireside chat, either with the host or taking Q&A from the audience.
Right.
Because hearing myself talk is not that helpful, but if I know that I'm bringing value to somebody through a conversation, it's more fun for me.
Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo para dar la alegría cosa buena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo para dar la alegría cosa buena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo para dar la alegría cosa buena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo para dar la alegría cosa buena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena.
Messi. Again takes the wall pass. And again, absolutely brilliant. That goal was a work of art.
Good morning, guys. I want to share with you a story from Les Brown again today in order to laugh in terms of our being on our path to infinite mind wealth, and just to know and be aware that either it might be you or it might be people around you, it might be our children. There are times when we look at them and, you know, there may be times for yourself where you may be getting into trouble, making mistakes, this and that. Well, I remember Les Brown sharing a story where his mom was referring to his childhood and saying, when Les finally achieved his dreams and he was able to buy a home for his mom, she said to him, I could never have imagined this happening. You know, you were always getting into things when you were young, Les Brown. You were always getting into trouble. I could never have imagined this. So it just reminds me that we're always going to be on our path to making mistakes. And some of those people around us that we think they're always getting into trouble, we're all trying to figure it out. They're all on their path. So I just thought it was so funny. Never underestimate ourselves. Have a great day, everyone.
Anyone who feels weak or has that self-doubt, it comes from not a lack of belief, it comes from a lack of ability. And abilities can be trained and learned. And I always say this to people, if something makes you nervous, if something makes you unconfident, if something makes you scared, you can't just believe in yourself. And I think a lot of people talk about self-belief, and really it's about self-respect. And self-respect comes from doing hard things. And so if you're dealing with something that you don't feel you're good at, go and try and get decent at it. Go and take a course, get a coach, get a mentor, go out there and read a book about it, listen to this podcast, right? Like when you're searching for the answer, all of a sudden your skill starts to develop and now the problem starts to feel easier to solve. And so as a dependent, especially if you're single, start solving problems yourself. And guess what? You're gonna feel so much self-respect. And now your self-doubt goes away at the root.
Need motivation? Watch a top 10 with Believe Nation.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I make these videos because I need it. I need it for me because I don't wake up every day and say, yes, let's go conquer the world. No, I wake up and I need that external motivation to match my internal motivation. When I see somebody who's doing amazing things, it makes me just want to play a bigger game. And so I hope that today's video makes you want to play a bigger game too, because your message matters, and let's get it out to the world. So today, let's learn from one of the best, Jay Shetty, and my take on his top 10 rules of success. Enjoy. Rule number 2 is study people's lives.
You have to really study people's lives. And I think this is something I've always done. And as a reader, you do, and even as an interviewer, you do. when you study someone's life, you actually get to learn from it rather than get carried away with how you feel in the moment. So what I mean by that is if you study the arc of any successful person in Hollywood, you'll see a sign of success, maybe a rebellion.
Right.
Then you'll see depression, you'll see mental health, you'll see all of this, and you could ignore it and think, oh, that will never happen to me.
Right.
And you think you're the exception.
I would be
somehow.
happy with all of
I would
that.
be happy with all of
Yeah.
that. And I think that that's the mindset that sets us up for failure, where we go, oh, no, I'm special.
Yeah.
Like I'm better. And it's like, well, you're not. You're human. All of us are human. And so I think when you study someone else's life, you actually develop empathy for them and compassion for yourself.
Yeah.
And you think, wait a minute, let me be aware of the natural pitfalls.
Yeah.
It's kind of like saying if one of your friends has been to a country and they had a rough experience, you got to learn from that experience. Oh, no, that's not going to happen to me.
I'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Rule number 3 is practice self-discipline.
Do you wake up happy or sad?
I wake up neither. I wake up feeling purposeful and disciplined. So there's some days where I wake up and I'm tired and I'd rather stay in bed, but my discipline gets me out because I have commitments that I believe are important and that are going to get me to where I want to be and who I want to be. And it's worth getting up for those. So then sometimes it's a disciplined day and sometimes it's a purposeful day. I wake up and I feel so connected to my purpose. Kind of like today, I knew I was coming to see you today and I was excited about being with you today and with your incredible team. And I respect what you do so much. So today was a purposeful day. I didn't have to come here out of discipline. I came here out of purpose that I'm going to get a chance to like be myself and share myself with someone and someone that I've heard so many amazing things about through mutual friends that we both respect. And if I can be that, then that will be amazing. And so purpose and discipline are what I try and wake up with, as opposed to happiness and sadness, because I can't really be happy every day because sometimes I just got to get through the day and get it done. And I don't experience so much sadness because the emotional mastery training really works. And you don't want to spend so much time in that space either.
Rule number 4 is embrace solitude.
Paul Tillich, who talked about how there's a difference between being alone and being lonely. And he talks about how, or being alone is like the strength of being alone, but loneliness is the weakness of being alone. And it's really interesting that in the English dictionary, we have 2 words for being alone. One's alone and one's solitude, but we never use the word solitude. So we always say, oh, I'm going to be alone tonight, right? We say, oh no, I'm just going to stay in and be alone tonight. Or if you were at school and lots of people didn't come to your party, you'd always be considered less popular.
A loner.
A loner, exactly. If you're the person at the lunch table who's sitting alone, you're the loner. If you turn up to a wedding and you don't have a +1, it's like, oh, poor you. Like, when are you going to get married? Like, when's your turn?
Yes,
right? Like,
100%.
That's the and of course, and so that's the language. We've made being alone an enemy. We've made being lonely the enemy. And we all know this. This is common wisdom today, that we can all feel surrounded by so many people and still feel disconnected. That's what we all experience pretty much every single day. So being alone doesn't mean, being alone is not defined by your physical proximity to people. Being alone is defined by how well you understand yourself and how well others understand you.
And let's bring it back. Let's connect our breathing to our body, to our mind, to our energy. To our energy of determination. That's right. We determine. We don't choose and lose, give up, believe lies, give in to fear. We don't do that. We don't give in to anxiety, stress, things that are not the truth of who we are. The way you did your best today, whatever exercises, stretches you chose to do, it's the same process you get to use here, now, wherever you go.